Oh look, he's sliding down and he's like, no, please go here instead. Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Megan, and today we're doing the game of TBR. If you aren't aware of what the game of TBR is, it is a monthly game I do in order to build my TBR. It's based on the game of life, and I will link all the other videos up above in a playlist so that you can check in on the rules and how I've done on my other TBRs. This was for last month, and it does not include Warrior of the Wild because I set it down somewhere and I don't remember where, but I have finished everything except the Dragon Ball manga. So I still have a couple days left. I should be able to finish that. So we actually finished our TBR for once in the month. September is a little bit interesting. It seems to be a chaotic month in which all the popular and heavily followed readathons that I really want to participate in are happening in September. Basically, Bookopolathon and Magical Readathon are happening. I will link Becca and G down below. They are the hosts of each respective readathon, and I'm so excited to participate this time. It's been so long since we've had Magical Readathon, and I heard about Bookopolathon last year, but I was too late to participate, so I'm excited to participate this year. So the way this is going to work, because I do have my own game, I'm going to do 5 rounds of the game of TBR like normal, and then I'm going to replicate 5 rounds onto Bookopolathon. So it's going to be a pretty chaotic time. I do have a plan that if I land a certain way in retirement, because I'm almost at the end of the game of life, I'm going to have to add a prompt or a round to the Bookopolathon, so stay tuned for that. If I happen to roll doubles in Bookopolathon, I have to add rounds. So we'll see how it goes. It's probably going to be a disaster, because why would it be easy? And yeah, I will keep up with you guys. I'm going to do my game of TBR first, and then I'll jump into Bookopolathon. And then at the end, I will wrap up with how it incorporates into Magical Readathon. A lot happening, a lot going on, so without further ado, let's jump into round 1. Spin number 1. 3. 1, 2, 3. Yellow card, and we got, of course, we got freaking Boyfriend's Choice after he chose my entire TBR last month. Oh my gosh. Okay, so for spin number 1, we got Anthony's Choice, because why not? I mean, he picked my entire August TBR, might as well let him pick another book in September. So he's actually away right now, so I called him and he said, just give me 6 options and I'll pick from those 6 options. And after I listed the 6 options to him, he was like, all right, which one has yellow on the cover? And literally the only one with yellow on the cover was the manga, which is Sailor Moon Volume 1. I'm so excited to get in this series. It was something I planned to pick up in September regardless, so I'm really happy I was able to get it on my TBR. Spin number 2. Is that another 3? 1, 2, 3. Blue. I had to look at my cheat sheet to remember what blue was, but blue is randomize my physical TBR, which we did in our last video, I believe, as well. Alright, so here again is our randomizer. So we're going to generate a new number, 65. And number 65 is going to be, if I can find it, Crown of Coral and Pearl. Number 65. All right. I don't have to go too much into depth for round 2 because, as you saw, I randomized my TBR and went to Crown of Coral and Pearl. This is by Mara Rutherford, and I don't know anything about it other than it has a sea, mermaid, pirate, that sort of element, and as we all know, that's one of my favorite tropes in a book, so I'm not sad about that one at all. Okay, so as you can see, we're about to close in on the mansion or the Country Acres retirement homes. I think for this time, I'm going to play into Bookopolathon, and if I get on Millionaire Mansion, I will stick with the 5 rolls. But if I get Countryside Acres, I'm gonna have to do 6 rolls for Bookopolathon. So it's gonna kind of be like a double/punishment. So if I roll a red, that's going to be right towards Millionaire Mansion. If I roll a black, that's going to be left towards Countryside Acres. If I happen to roll 1, I'll go to the yellow, but otherwise I will be going the color. So here we go. And this is gonna just decide how many rolls I do for Bookopolathon. It's not gonna be a prompt. So yeah, let's go. I'm nervous. Black, which is left, which is Countryside Acres. Okay, so that's going to be our pick for Bookopolathon. I'm gonna have to do 6 rolls instead. Why did I do that to myself? I really thought I might get millionaire. Let's go to roll 3 now, which is going to be back at the start. Again, left is black, right is red. If we go left, we're gonna go the career path. If we go right, we're gonna go the college path, and that'll decide which of these 2 cards we're gonna get. All right, we're gonna go left for 9. So first of all, let's pick our career. So we're gonna get one of these careers since we didn't go to college. Let's go with this one. We're going to be an athlete. And when I set this up, I made it so that athlete means we're going to do something involving sports or magic. I don't know why I chose those 2, but we're gonna do something sports or magic, or magical sports. Oh, I have an idea for that. Next was athlete, and as you probably heard me kind of strategizing, I found a book that fits both sports and magic. That is Blaze Wrath Games by Empower Arts, and this is basically How to Train Your Dragon meets the World Cup. So I'm very excited for this one. It has been on my most anticipated reads ever since I saw it coming out, and I cannot believe I haven't picked it up yet. I'm, so excited to have this one on my TBR. Okay, since we already spun 9, I'm just gonna move 9. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yellow. And our card is Read a Sequel. Round number 4 was to read a sequel. For this, I'm going to be picking up book 2 of The Witchlands, which is Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. As you have probably seen, my friend Callum has been harassing me to read this series. I did read Truth Witch back in, I want to say May or June, and then reread it last month. The first time I read it wasn't my favorite. Second time I read it, it made so much more sense, and I actually really enjoyed the book. So I'm excited to get into it now that I actually know what's happening. Okay, spin number 5 for the game of TBR. Hopefully we won't have to do more than 6 in Bookopolathon, but here's number 5 for the game of TBR. 3. 1, 2, 3. Another yellow. And that is pick a book from a readathon. Okay. Perfect. Yes. And finally, for the game of TBR was round 5 to read a book from another readathon's prompt. I'm actually going to be pulling from the Magical Readathon as well as my book club of the month. If you aren't aware, I talk about it all the time. I have a book club. If you're interested in joining, you can check out the link down below. Our book for September is going to be Kingdom of the Wicked, and spoiler, I am going to be using this in the Magical Readathon for Supernatural prompt. Alright friends, now on to Bookopolathon. So as I said, I did run into Countryside Acres, so I am going to be starting with 6 rounds. So without further ado, let's get into our first round of Bookopolathon. Alright guys, welcome to the poor version of Bookopolathon. I've got my digital board here because I couldn't get it printed out. I've got my digital dice here because I don't have dice. And I have my community chest and chance cards written in my notes. So we're gonna use our little Game of TBR card as our token. I was gonna use Baby Yoda here. He was a little bit too big, but we're gonna make it work. So look how cute he is though. All right, so roll number 1 out of 6, since I hit Countryside Acres in Game of TBR, is 6. And of course it's a freaking double. Oh my gosh. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It says thanks, I believe, on it. We're gonna check our little guide here. Wow, apparently I can't read because that says humans, and it says to read a book with human main characters. Round number 1 is for thanks. No, it's for humans, and that is going to be The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I'm normally not like a mystery thriller person, however, I just joined another book club of Disney travel agents who also love books. So it's basically people who love Disney and love books, run by Disney travel agents. And they sent out an email that said, if you like Tower of Terror, read this book. Tower of Terror is my favorite ride, so of course I had to pick up this book, and I'm gonna read it as an audiobook. I think that's gonna be a little easier to get through. And basically, from what I'm understanding, is this person goes to a hotel or party or something, and Evelyn keeps dying, and he has to figure out who the murderer is in order for her to, like, for this thing to stop repeating and stop happening. I don't know, so we'll see. All right, roll number 2 of 7 now. We got 3. 1, 2, 3. And that one is to read a book with monsters or any sort of supernatural character. Next was monsters, and thank goodness I'm able to fit this into all of my readathons this month. Kingdom of the Wicked is going to be my monsters prompt because you could also use a supernatural element, and I believe that there's a vampire or a demon or something in here that can definitely count as supernatural. I have no idea what this book is about, to be honest. Let's read the synopsis on the back. It says, whatever you do, you must never speak to the wicked. If you see them, hide. Once you've caught a demon prince's attention, he'll stop at nothing to claim you. They are midnight creatures, born of darkness and moonlight, and they seek only to destroy. Ooh, so I'm guessing our main character somehow catches the attention of a demon prince. That's my hypothesis. Roll number 3 out of 7 is 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Read a book with a color in the title. It can be any shade or variation of that color. For example, ruby may refer to a person's name or jewel, but it also refers to a shade of red. So any sort of shade or color in the title. All right, next we got colors. And this just so happened to work out with my randomized TBR. We're going to Crown of Coral and Pearl again. I hope we're gonna get a lot of duplicates like this because this is really helping out. Coral and Pearl could both be considered colors, so I'm gonna count it. Roll number 4 out of 7. We've got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Spooky vibes. Oh, that's perfect for September. That's so exciting. Yes, perfect. Next is spooky, and I'm going to be doubling up again with the magical readathon. Again, a little bit of a spoiler. I had previously determined my magical readathon prompts. So for school setting and magical readathon, I'm going to be reading Crave. And for spooky setting, I'm going to be reading Crave. So, yay! I don't know anything about this except that my Bookstagram friends told me I need to read it. There you go. Roll number 5 of 7. 6, and it's doubles again. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Feed scroll. So for feed scroll, you're going to go to social media of your choice where there's a lot of bookish content. Open your feed and scroll until you see a book you own or have access to that you have not read yet. All right, we're gonna go to Instagram. Gods and Monsters. First one. All right, right there. I guess we're going to Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin. Do I even have, yeah, I do have that one. I got the Fox and Wit edition, so I guess we're finishing the trilogy. Okay, rule number 6 of 8 now. We have a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Big book, over 500 pages. Fantastic, great, just what I needed in this massive TBR. Oh look, he's sliding down and he's like, no, please go here instead. Next was to read a big book or a book over 500 pages. For this, I'm going to be picking up the sequel to Furyborn, which is Kingsbane. Furyborn has been one of my top reads of the year, so I'm really excited to get to the sequel. And it is, let's see here, it was like 594 pages, so I think it definitely exceeds 500 pages there. This is Furyborn follows 2 different perspectives in a world in which there is a prophecy that there will be a Sun Queen and a Blood Queen. One will have the power to save the world and one will have the power to destroy it. And you're following, again, 2 perspectives and trying to figure out who's who. So it's kind of fun. I really liked it. It had elemental magic and competitions and like people in disguise and enemies to lovers and friends to lovers and just everything fun in a fantasy trope book-esque thing. So let's go Kingsbane! Roll number 7 out of 8. Maybe? 12. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? 12 and doubles. I'm gonna go cry now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. TBR game. So for TBR game, I use another booktuber's TBR game or your own if you have one. Oh, thank goodness. To select a book by either watching one of the videos or fulfilling the prompts. Okay, I'll use my game of TBR, thank goodness. But holy cannoli, this has been rough. Next was to pick a book from a TBR game. Again, I'm going with my game of TBR games, and I believe that I matched every other book up except Sailor Moon. So we're going with Sailor Moon, which works for me because it's short, and I really am looking forward to reading this. So Sailor Moon! I don't know why I'm like hitting my books after I'm done talking about them. Roll number 8 out of 9 now, if anyone's counting. 3. 1, 2, 3. New. So new can refer to a book that is either pretty new or one that you haven't heard many people review yet, or a book you heard a lot of buzz about when it first released but haven't heard much since. For new, I'm going with Blaze Wrath Games, and I already talked about this, but it is kind of a newer book. It's not like brand new, but it's definitely not talked about a lot so far as I've seen. So, and hopefully finally, roll 9 out of 9 is 8. Okay, roll 9 out of 9 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going for something with a cute vibe. So that can either be like a romance or middle grade or something that has a cute cover, whatever you think has a cute vibe. Alright, and for cute, I still wanted to stay in that like spooky-esque or Halloween-esque, fall-esque, all the esques theming of things, but I still wanted it to be cute because that was the prompt. So I'm going with Kiki's Delivery Service. I'm very excited for this one. I mean, this is adorable already, and I do want to watch the Studio Ghibli film. Ghibli? I think it's Ghibli. I don't know. Ugh. But I do want to watch the film and read the book similar to what JD Ray Reads did. I'll link her video down below so you can watch that, or up above, whichever. Yeah. Alright, I need to do this wrap up in 2 sections because the pile is heavy. But here's the first half of our books. Kingsbane is going to be for Bookopolathon, big book, a book over 500 pages, as well as the Magical Readathon, a book with a map. Blaze Wrath Games is going to be for Magical Readathons, top of the TBR, as well as Bookopolathon's new, as well as Game of TBR Athlete, Sports, and Magic. Kiki's delivery service is going to be for Q on Bookopolathon, as well as Standalone on Magical Readathon. Kingdom of the Wicked is fitting every single readathon, so for the Game of TBR, it is for a book from another readathon. For Bookopolathon, it's for monsters. For Magical Readathon, it's for the supernatural prompt, and it is also the book of the month for my September book club. And then here's our other half here. 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle is for humans on Bookopolathon, as well as Thriller Mystery on Magical Readathon. Sailor Moon is going to be for the Anthony's Choice on Game of TBR, the TBR game prompts on Bookopolathon, and a 5-star prediction in Magical Readathon. And then of course, as I mentioned, Crave, not featured in the pile, is going to be for School Setting in Magical Readathon and Spooky in the Bookopolathon. Wind Witch is going to be for Read a Sequel in the Game of TBR, as well as for continuing a series or the destination or location character prompt in Magical Readathon. Crown of Coral and Pearl is going to be for Elemental Magic in the Magical Readathon, as well as Randomize My TBR in the Game of TBR, as well as the Colors prompt in Bookopolathon. And finally, last but not least, this was not part of the other TBRs, but I am going to be a wildling in the Magical Readathon, so I'm going to be picking up Root Magic for that, for a book in the forest or set outside. This looks like it's set in a forest, so I'm going to go with it. It's a middle grade about black magic, I believe. I'm not sure, but it looks really adorable. Look at that. So here's the full pile. I couldn't hold it for an extended period of time, but this is it, and yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this very chaotic TBR game video, and let me know down below what you're going to be reading in September, if you're going to be participating in any of these readathons. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll check you guys in my next one. Bye everyone!